Good morning, everyone. Today we start from 9 o'clock early in the morning. My name is Krisda. I'm the Director Corporate Communication for Bmw Group. Today I will talk about the Bmw Group Sustainability. This will include BMW, Mini Cooper, and Rolls-Royce within the market at the moment. Under the Bmw Group, I would like to also talk about sustainability at the Bmw Group. Also, the Bmw Group BEV vehicle, which is battery electronic vehicle. And the last point, I will talk about the overall electronic vehicle trends and the Thailand EV target in the near future. If you look at in the past, since 1973, we will see that these electronic vehicles started from 1973. Then the first BMW Sustainability Report refers to start the industry in 2001. We also touch point into the sustainability and integral part of the procurement process. Move to 2013, BMW is a pioneer of electricity mobility. We focus on sustainability goal to be met and looking to achieve in 2020. Most people heard of efficient dynamic for the BMW. However, the efficient dynamic including the drive, power of the car, also not only iron but also magnesium and the weight of the car to make sure it's safe, the petrol or gas consumption.
In 2013, we start EV from BMW. We use the code WI8 along with WI8. It's plug-in hybrid, it's pure electric vehicles, and it's on for sale in 2013. Back there, we have been tested the EV mini electrics. We tested earlier since 2000. We use the vehicles for rental program so that the public could rent out the vehicles. We test the drive in New York and Tokyo in winter and summer. And daily, so we test and study the public behavior. All the information is the project that BMW gather the informations to be i3 products. It's the first battery for electric vehicles. It's 33 kilowatts per hour and 200 to 300 range. The information that we has been tested is for study and become this EV. Nowadays, in 2021 to 2022, last year, before its Frankfurt Motor Show, it's become IAA Mobility and there's a grand opening called our conceptual is the electric vehicle could be recycled. So it's 100% is from the recycled vehicles, and we're going to show you the features of the future vehicles, and it's the basics for the 2025. It's a new class. If you are familiar with BMW in the history, during the 70s is the transition of the BMW feature. It's become smaller but very successful and has been acceptable in the mainstream. During the financial crisis, when this feature appeared in the public, it changed the market. Since 2025, we are going to talk about EV, and it's used the secondary material to produce. So BMW is targeting how we use the raw material and productions would be decreased since 2019 to 2030. How can we decrease the materials? The private neutral would be in 2050 is our vision and targets that we have been planning to develop our products. It would be related with our plan. Why it matters in terms of taking care of environment, we have to consider other factors. It's climate change. And climate change, all sectors has visions to keep the world temperature not over 2 Celsius. So it's 1.5 target. The operation of the world grow 60% of the population in the city. It's very important in the major city. For the regulation in Europe, they are very strict with CO2 emissions. Last year is about 95 grams per kilometer. So the only way is to install the electric vehicles. As that's the reason the Europe market is very active. Concerning the competition,
if we talk about the competition for BMW, of course, with the new technology that coming up at the moment, a lot of new business, new players, so we have to look into develop our product very quickly. With the BMW Group, what matters for us, we look into climate change, we look into about the carbonization, regulation, competition, culture and values, and of course, digitalization, which including autonomous driving and connectivity. Now we look at the vision for the BMW in the near future. This is the latest version of BMW that we launched last year. It's called Bmw I Vision Circular. It's made from aluminium, which we use as secondary source. We've not normally seen this kind of console as this huge. The material that we use the rubber that from the natural rubber, which is not with the wheel as well. The steering wheel, we don't use a normal steering wheel. As you can see, the shape of steering wheel is not circle shape, it's a square shape, and we designed it to make it more modern and more effective, more useful. When we talk about CO2 emission, we try to reduce to 50% CO2 from product utilization by 2030. Also, we try to reduce up to 40% CO2 across the vehicle life cycle. The target we're looking at 40% at the minimum for the life cycle, that divided into 3 different portions. The first portion, we're looking to about minus 20% for supply chain. The CO2 per car should be less. The second portion will be the production. What we're trying to do, as we say, we try to reduce the CO2 emission minus 20%. If looking at the share secondary materials, today the target if you're looking for the manufacturer for one car, we have to use so many resources because firstly, the cost is quite high. Secondly, the BMW company, we try to aim to share the secondary materials today to about 30% on average per car. But in the near future, we're looking to expand it into up to about 50% on average per car.
The battery needs to be recycled. Secondary material need to be used for the future batteries. This is a huge goal that BMW has set. It's our ambition for 1.5 degrees Celsius. And we agree to control the Celsius not over 2 Celsius. We are in the group of car makers that targeting to support the temperature of the world not over 1.5. It's zero emission program. So 3 phases of transition from the past until nowadays, from until 2025. So how does it impact the products? In 2013, you would see the first EV model is the same with the Germany models. We have the power of choice. We have ICE vehicles, and we also have fuel cells EV. We have Series 3. They can choose what type of vehicles. It depends on the demands of the market and that country's demand. We consider e-mobility first. In 2025, the BEV would be expanded and would be rapidly grow. It will play a significant role in the EV market. My class or new class is the BMW format in the future. In implementations, our vehicle needs to be in different phases: before use, during use. During use, our clients drive every day, and after use, what will we do? This is the value change that BMW really consider. It's how can we collaborate different stakeholders together. Before use, a vision into 2030, what can we achieve? We want to be a pioneering role to set the concrete CO2 targets. We want to decrease it about 40% in 2030. 20% we want to do the concrete measures. For example, buying the cobalt and lithium for battery cells is from the certified resources. It needs to comply with all regulations. We need to draw all the agreements for green power to support supply chain. So we need to combine biodiversity into the production process. 80% is on production process. In 2030, we would like to achieve on the best local options. Where can we utilize the energy the most? In 2020, BMW's factory try to use electric power as a whole. To plan our policy, we plan to use the carbon neutral policy when we use our power or energy. Wind resource, hydropower in Germany can decrease the CO2. During use, how can we decrease 50% of CO2 we plan to achieve our goal in 2030. We would like to make fully electric vehicle since 2025 to 2030. In 2021, we planned the station in Europe are called fast charging 100. Fast charging is 350 kilowatts or more along the highway in Europe. So it's fast charging, not just a few minutes takes. In 2023, we have 13 models from BMW electric and plug-in hybrid offer in different markets. The concrete measure is that the CO2 emissions would be cut off since 1995 and so forth. In 2021, BMW would be fully electric power zero productions vehicles. iX3, iX4 mini electric vehicles, which offer in Thailand as well. After use, what would happen if the vehicle was dead? We are thinking about circular use. The recycled material would be increased. By 2030, the end-of-life vehicles would be recycled. Material design in the future need to be adapted with the recycle. The battery which take off from the vehicles is not the end of life materials. We can reuse it with the new vehicles. What is the highlight of BMW vehicles? Is the power of choice, means whether market, clients, and export market. The charging stations that supported by the government from different countries. Probably some country cannot be subsidized much. For example, the market in South Africa. The power choice could tell the demand of the market. What is the drivetrain? Maybe diesel or benzene or plug-in hybrid or
Okay, for the first model that we use, this model is Bmw X3. For when it's converted into EV car, then we call it Bmw. Now we look at about the expectation trends for the powertrain split. For the plug-in hybrid electronic vehicle or PHEV, there's a highly increased and developed since 2013 to 2035. With the BMW, what we try to do is we try to slowly bring in the electric vehicle segment to replace the normal cars. Also with the hydrogen. With the hydrogen is very expensive at the moment. However, the most popular choice is the BEV car, battery electric vehicle. These trends are very popular at the moment since 2013, and it will be increasingly into 2035. Of course, with the car sharing, we're looking into develop car sharing at the moment because not many people will buy a new car. And we aim for the market, for sharing cars, market in the future. Now we talk about the first car manufacturer in Thailand. With the Bmw Group, we are the first who offers and delivers all three drivetrains to the Thai customers since 2015. We offer zero emission reduction while different drivetrains and technology. The range is about 99 to 291 grams per kilometer. With the plug-in hybrid, it's to cooperate with the motor electrical with the normal cars, so it can reduce the CO2 up to 41 to 79 grams per kilometer. As you can see, BMW and Mini BEV models, at the moment we offers iX3, iX4 and Mini Electric. For these 4 types of car, it's used plug-in hybrid. So there will be 9 models altogether. With the BMW Series 3, Series 5 and Series 7, X3, X5 and X7 that we here are the photos of the Bmw I X3, the part inside.
The average of the economy is 19 to 19.5 kilometers per hour, and the battery is the 80 kilowatt per hour, and it can run 460 kilometers per hour. It's about 400 kilometers per one charge. The drivetrain used electric motor about 220 horsepower. As a whole is all the cell battery. It's around 10 batteries. So we can change only some battery or some part of the battery. Doesn't have to lift up as the whole battery. Only the defected battery can be changed. Another model, I forgot to mention iX3. It was produced in China factory. So the advantages is to reduce the tax, import reduce tax, and it's high demand. iX is bigger. It's combined in Germany. So there is no exception on VAT. It's 80% of percent. Is still high demand. The range of speed is around 543 to 630 kilometers. The charging times is pretty fast. If it's DC, charge is about 200 kilowatts in 39 minutes. If it's AC charge, is about 11 kilowatts or 10 hours. 10 hours. And this model is the recent model. Is I4. WM is the fully electric
Here are the latest, the BMW model is Bmw I4. We have Bmw I4 M50 and Bmw I4 eDrive 40M Sport. With these 2 different types, we use electronic vehicle. And for the Bmw I4 M50, the maximum system output is 400 kilometers and can be up to 540 hours per hour with electrical range up to 521 kilometers in the WLTP cycle. However, with the Bmw i4 eDrive 40M Sport, the maximum system output can be up to 250 kilowatt and up to 340 hour, with electrical range up to 590 kilometers in the WLTP cycle. Now we look in more details with the BMW and Mini dealers. Here are the pictures of the dealer in Nakhon Ratchasima in Korat province. We use solar rooftop and also solar carpet. We're looking at the sustainability. Not only our company, but we work and cooperate with each other between the factory, the dealer, and the company itself. We use solar rooftop, which we look and we're very concerned about the environment. With the solar rooftop, we save the energy up to 109.98 kilowatt per year. Which we're looking at all of this, we can save up to, like, we grow 1,750 trees. Here is the BMW developed public charging at about 48 locations nationwide. We use AC normal charge. This consists of 123 AC normal charge and 7 DC chargers. We offer 7 fast charge DC chargers. And not only for BMW car users, these also are made for other brands as well. Now we're looking at the cooperation with the EVAT and EVAT plan. We're looking to develop up to 3,000 charge points in 2025. We work and cooperate with EVAT and EVAT. If you go to the Hua Hin province, you will see the charger station by EVAT and EVAT. We have more than 3,000 charge points nationwide, but in general, we're looking at more than 10,000 charges points in 2025. From now on to 2025, we're looking to expand more charging points. Here are the solar panels in the Korat province. This is the solar panel. Here are the numbers of the Bmw Group vehicle deliveries As you can see, the BMW has highly increased the growth for plus 9.1%. Also with the Mini Coopers, the Rolls-Royce, and the BMW motorcycle. In Thailand, looking at the industry overview in 2021, there will be a comparison between 2021 there's an increase in normal car down to 4.9%. Here are the sales volume. The sales volume for the segment shares. We are the leadership in premium segment for 2 consecutive years. Increased up to 45.5%. Even though within the COVID-19 crisis. For the plug-in hybrid and electrical vehicle, we have about 32.9% segment share between BMW and Mini Electric. Now here are the overall platform for worldwide proportion of the electronic vehicle platforms. Vans and trucks about 1% EV share of the sales. With the passengers cars about 4%, buses 39%, and the wheelers 44%. Now we look at in the future for the safe sales share, for the zero emission sales share outlook. Well, from the chart here, it shows that with the buses and cars and 2 or 3 wheelers has a high percentage, significantly increasing slowly each year. Now is the registration for the EV zero emission vehicles. Here are the numbers of the estimated number of ZEV zero emission vehicle per year from 2025 to 2035. Well, thank you for the presentation. That's all for now for this session. We would like to share some information about our group, BMW. Is there any question? We might be able to have just one question. You can raise your hand. There's a question from Professor Rangsima. I have 2 questions. The first question is efficiency dynamic. Can you talk about the efficiency dynamic for the BMW? Okay, to answer those questions, with the BMW, we look into efficiency dynamic, the lightweight, and zero emission CO2. So we try to see if we can how to generate the battery within the efficient dynamic. With the panel control in the car, it might be a bit difficult. but there will be a different mode like default or different type of mode available for customers to press on the button. On the screen of the panel will show everything within the system in the car. For example, the energy consumption, the graph, the curve, and the behavior. The eco mode within the BMW car when the users drive or when the car is stand still, how it is work, what's the function, especially the behavior in the Bangkokian. With the BMW, we have the auto start and auto stop. The technique is when we try to calculate the CO2, then it's more real life situation. They calculate whether the car is on start engine or the engine is turned off. The car users will be able to choose whether you want to turn the function on or to turn the function off. Would there be any problems with the battery aggregation? Well, from as far as I know, there hasn't got any problem on this at the moment, not so far. Thank you very much to our guest speaker. Now we move on to the next session.